We got some layering going on here. Just finishing up our weekly family business meeting. We are doing some like scheduling stuff. Got a few trips and adventures coming up that we had to talk through. A few other loose relational ends. Just bouncing ideas off each other sometimes help us take the next step in a problem, help overcome some fears. And really, we're realizing we need to have almost another business meeting once a week just to talk about Appalachian Trail stuff. Because there's all these questions about gear and all these like decisions to be made that are really important. Because we want to prepare as much as we can now, even though it's what, 4 months away. A lot of decisions are happening right now for shopping. Right now though, we have to get back for Hebrew lesson.
Crack the whip. We're coming, Rachel.
Okay, today's vlog is like a bit on the haphazard side. It's like 4:35 and we haven't really filmed at all, which just happens sometimes, I guess. But I've been kind of at a loss of what to vlog about. And I'm actually hoping people could maybe leave a comment on something. Like if you have any suggestions. I didn't think it would come to
There
this.
was a few in the comments today. I forget what it was.
I'll check those out. But if you are interested in that, please leave a comment. But we have this little handy dandy book here, which I write like for these big topics. And for people that are new, I thought this would be a good thing to go over because that business meeting that we did this morning, a lot of people in the survey this most recent time have told us that that's the #1 thing you guys have implemented in your life. So I thought we would spend a little bit of time and just go into a little bit more detail about that. And specifically, these are 6 reasons why we have a business meeting for our family.
Every week.
#1, it teaches us what's important.
If you have a business or you're a part of a business, you always have meetings. And having a family, I believe, is no different in some ways than a business. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. And so carving out some time every week helps me to say, oh, family is important. And it should be just as important as a business.
#2, a weekly business meeting prevents things from falling through the cracks. There's like, managing a family is just like a ton. I mean, we have 6 kids. And those kids have who knows how many hundreds of conflicts, or say...
And they're 1 year old or they're 16 years old, so there's all different
And there's a
variations.
lot of things that are said, a lot of little goals or conflicts or issues we have to deal with. And that feeling of things not getting taken care of, I think takes up a ton of energy. So once a week, we have kind of the ability to go look back at all the things that have happened that we think are important. Like sometimes a kid shares something with Cami or with me, and I can say, hey, this happened, or this occurred with a neighbor kid, or, you know, and it allows us just not to let things feel like they're constantly slipping through the cracks.
Or it can be something like on my to-do list, but I'm like not knowing how to move forward. I mean, it can be so many different things.
You're taking things from number 3 and 4 here. Okay, speaking of #3, which is that it helps us to get beyond survival mode. It's weird to me that, like, I hear from families all the time, like, we're barely getting by. Okay, and I get it, we have toddlers. But we have, like, roofs over our head, plenty of food, air conditioning, and Netflix. So, like, we're not trying to survive.
I think they're more thinking emotionally. Or that's what they're feeling.
Totally. And I'm not trying to discount that feeling, but I guess I just want to point out that so much of family energy is spent towards like what we consider just survival or just getting by. And we want to put as much energy into possible into thriving, growing, creating, and health. Those are things that are like are beyond zero. Survival is just like the baseline.
Yeah.
And these good things here, they don't happen on accident. They don't happen randomly, usually. It's not usually the path the most traveled or the easiest path. These are like intentional decisions we have to make. So if we just live our life without thinking about it, the best case scenario we're ever going to get is survival. But when we sit together and we're like, man, what do we want to do with our summer? Or do we want to travel in the next 3 months? Or do we want to take this trip as a family? Like, those things only happen because of advanced planning and intentionality.
Number 4, it improves our relationship. I think it helps Ben and I feel more connected and like we're business partners and we're working on something together. We're not like doing 2 separate things, but we happen to be parents of a family.
And I think in a way we're better business partners than we are lovers. And what I mean by that is, as humans, or just for me, I function better when we have a common goal. Date nights are like, we gear our date nights towards championing and fostering romance. But most of what we do in life is not romantic. It's actually just kind of like getting shit done. And some of the best friendships I've ever had with males or females are business relationships where we had like a huge goal and we needed to accomplish it. And
I think it makes us better lovers, actually.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think this business aspect is saying, man, life is hard, family is hard, we're in this together. Like, we're teammates, let's identify the goal and like try and accomplish some stuff. And it feels really good to accomplish things with you or to know that you're my teammate. Number
5, it's fun. It's fun for us, for me, because we go out and we have breakfast, and that's kind of cool to do every week.
Number 6 is it makes us better individuals. You know, there is a team component, but a lot of what we share at these meetings are just like personal things that I'm dealing with. But here's the thing, like, being a dad is a huge part of who I am. So if I'm not succeeding at that or improving or facing my challenges, then I'm not facing becoming a better person. And I actually think Cami is probably the person that can speak into some of those things better than any person on the planet. I have hopes and dreams and fears and challenges, and sometimes just being able to share those things makes a huge difference in my life. I mean, one of my hopes, I read this Steve Jobs book like years ago, and he took his kids like anywhere they wanted in the world when they turned 13. And I was like, well, that would be cool. But that would have been the end of the story. But with Cami in our business meetings, I was able to say, hey, I want to do that. And then she's like, well, you should. And I'm like, yeah, I should. Like, I feel I got confidence and the ability to help plan it out. Because a lot of times I was like, oh, no, that's a dumb idea. That's too expensive, or this and that. And there's so many things like that where just even as a man, I hit these roadblocks personally, you know? And I think having a consistent place where I can get encouragement and accountability.
Yeah, and it teaches us individually how to ask for help, which is not always intuitive.
Yeah, that's true, because we have a belief that you can't do it alone. And I guess just getting together for a meeting, if you're not willing to ask for help, wouldn't be a very interesting meeting, I don't think. So I thought we would share with you guys 3 tips that might help, or at least have helped us. One is kind of one Cami said already, is just to make it fun. It can be challenging to prioritize this time at first, especially if you're busy and tired and stuff. But go out and buy some special wine or chocolate bars. If you can afford to do it outside of the house. Get away from the kids. Go to a nice restaurant or breakfast or dessert, special coffee. Anything that is like makes you look forward to it, so you can say a special, like premium ice cream. I think that can help. The second tip is just to write stuff down. A lot of things come up during the week where I'm like, oh man, I want to plan that, or one of the kids said this thing to me. So when we come to our meeting, usually Cami has a list of 3 or 4 or 5 things, and I have a list of 3 or 4 or 5 things, and we just like work our way through the list.
And it can seem really daunting when you first start out, because probably when you first start out, you're going to be like, shit, there's a lot of things falling through the cracks. But I think as you do this every week, it becomes more manageable.
The final tip is don't wait. Do this now, because a lot of times I think people might think, oh, I'm going to do this once we pay off our mortgage, or once we have time, or once we're, you know, getting ahead in life. But this meeting is actually a good habit, and will actually help you, I think, get ahead in life. It's not something you do once you're successful. The
more you feel like you're in survival mode, the more you need this meeting.
I hope this is helpful for you guys. In addition to the comments of vlog ideas for us, you could also put down what has helped you guys make your family meetings more successful. And for those of you who have started family meetings as a result of watching this vlog,
good job. That's
awesome. That takes a lot of courage.
Yep.
You know, we can only do our thing and film it and show it, but you guys got to put it on your own calendars. This is our first like kind of coldish day running, so I'm not super excited. And because it's Tuesday, I'm gonna procrastinate by doing a Tattoo Tuesday.
How are you? How are you?
That is the last time you are ever gonna see that intro, because I hate it. I never really liked Tattoo Tuesdays that much anyways. And we arrived at my last tattoo. So the final tattoo that I wanna show you guys is this one right here. It's on my bicep. I'm gonna flex. In 2013, I went to Washington, D.C. with Dove. And we were at the Lincoln Memorial. She was celebrating her 13th birthday. And we walked like upstairs, and then there was like this downstairs area. Then there was like near the bathrooms at the very bottom, there's this cool thing that it said about Abraham Lincoln. For Abraham Lincoln, a lot of people think that his primary thing was like emancipation or freeing the slaves. But actually his primary thing was unity. The best example that shows this was this series of letters that he wrote to some guy, I don't know who he was. But it said, if I believed that slavery was the best thing that preserved the unity of America, I would be for slavery. Or if I believed that abolition was the best thing that promoted unity in America, I would be for that. He like really thought slavery was a bad thing, but actually he believed in unity more than he believed in the freedom for everyone. And that really hit me, because at the time, I remember being the type of person, I was like extremely principled. I mean, I still am, but I was willing to die on almost like any hill. And there was like a series of relationships and people in my life, and I just started asking this question, what if instead of being willing to die on all these hills and kind of like separate from all these people, I was willing to say, hey, let's start with the definition of us and try and let like other issues be more minor in nature. So that was really inspiring to me. So it's less of like an American tattoo. This is the font from the Declaration of Independence, and it did come from my time period in DC as far as the inspiration. But the whole like we the people, it started off with a statement of unity. That was the most crazy thing about the formation of the United States, was the unity, was we. I think it's time for the run now.
Filia, are you done getting ready for running?
Gotta go like this, and then your hand comes out.
Oh my gosh, it's so cold.
I'm starting to warm up a tiny bit. I still can't feel my toes. But this is the important part where we decide if we go 4 miles or we do the 6 mile run. What do you vote? What do you vote? What do you vote? What do you vote?
4 miles.
What do you vote?
6.
Yeah! There's a reason I married this woman.
Make me the bad.
That's right.
I chose the 6 because I didn't have a good reason not to. And I know there's plenty of good reasons to do the shorter run, but I don't have them today. I feel strong. I don't know what those kids are complaining about. They're like way, way ahead. And I'm kind of dying right now. A little bit regretting my decision.
We're at the park. Oh, whoa! Whoa! We're gonna go up again, up again, up again. One more side down, okay? Whoa! Ooh. Right, we have to catch up.
Yeah. Look at this new thing they put here. Ohio, Kentucky. Ohio, Kentucky. Ohio, look, Cammie's over in Ohio. I'm in Kentucky. Come over to Kentucky. Come on.
I want to be free.
Thanks for coming over to my state.
You're welcome.
We just finished 6 miles. If I had to rank that run, I would say the temperature was a 6 out of 10. The running was like a 7 out of 10. But the conversation, that was a 9 out of 10. I gotta say though, the best part about the whole run experience was the hot, and I'm talking temperature.
Oh, there's the babies.
And actually,
Oh my God.
other things.
Look at that.
Co-ed shower afterwards.
Look at that.
That was a 10 out of 10. Oh, hello there! Ah! Hi! Oh, watch out!
He's so happy.
We're
He's
done
waiting.
dinner at my parents' house. What's that? Fish?
We are having fish taco.
Oh yeah. With the side of cinnamon rolls? My guess is that was Dad's contribution.
Good guess.
Today's vlog felt kind of like a piece of crap to me. It was pretty like half-assed and haphazard and just like tossed together. But we're gonna publish it anyways because that's what we've done. And I'm just trying to remind myself that I think it's better to publish something rather than nothing. And that even what doesn't seem very good to me or very intentional or planned out could help someone else and be good for them. And that's just like my perspective. Like, it feels like a piece of crap, but you know, that's somewhat arbitrary. Like, I have this idea of how I think a vlog needs to be, and it doesn't need to be that way, but it feels like it does to me. I guess today's not, but that's a bomb-ass fire, so that part of the vlog is good. Guys are coming over, and I'm gonna be smoking some cigars, and we're gonna be having some wings, and hopefully some good conversation out around the fire. Cammie's gonna be watching 13 Reasons Why with the kids. That was today's vlog.